Today, me and Amy have come to the Isle of Wight to do a walk from the Needles down to West Cowes. So that is the Needles down there where we're starting, and we're going to follow the coastal path along towards West Cowes, where we're going to catch a ferry back this evening. There is a coastal path that goes the whole way around the Isle of Wight, but we're just going to do a small section of it today. One of the things that the Isle of Wight is most famous for is its multicoloured sand. I remember when I was a kid, I used to come here and get those Isle of Wight shaped bottles that you'd fill with different coloured layers of sand. So down there you can see all the different coloured sands in the cliff face. I used to come here quite a bit when I was a kid, but I think the last time I was here was probably about 20 years ago now. So this is where we're walking today. So we started down at the Needles. We're going to follow this coastal path up here until we get down to Widdick Chine, and then we can follow the actual coast until we get to Colwell. Then I think we have to go in again, and then I think we can follow the coast to Yarmouth. So basically, because of the shape of this map, we're going to have to unfold it and refold it so many times. Right now we're just walking along the West Hyde Down, and then we just want to get down to Totland, which is down there. So we just followed this footpath down to the coast, and we can see across the mainland over there. It really isn't very far away at all here. I think this is probably the closest place to the mainland on the island. And just as we got here, the sun's come out, and it's such a lovely day now. And over there is Hurst Castle, which I think is the southernmost point on the mainland. It's now just gone 12:30, and the coastal path has taken us quite far inland, but the sun has come out and it's so warm I've had to take my coat off. So this is quite a long walk we're doing today. According to Google Maps, it'll take about 6 hours, but Google Maps is always wrong, so I'd probably add another hour to that. So we've just reached Yarmouth, which seems to be a little sailing town on the north coast, and it's one of the main ports along this coast where the ferries come from the mainland. Amy was too hungry to walk another step, so we've had to stop here in Yarmouth to eat some lunch. We just went to a little bakery and got a vegan sausage roll, and I got a vegan pie, and we're just sitting here on Yarmouth Pier. It's really nice out today, but we've got quite a long way to go, so once we finish this we're gonna get back walking again. The coastal erosion down here is insane. Look at all these trees that have fallen over. And they're all covered in seaweed, so they must have been here for quite a while. I think this part of the UK gets some of the worst erosion. But yeah, you can really see the effects of it here with all these trees down on the beach. And this bit of the path is so muddy as well. And Amy was telling me earlier that apparently in a lot of the Isle of Wight you can't insure your house because landslides are so common here. Which basically means if your house gets destroyed in a landslide, that's it, you're homeless. Which is just something you don't have to think about when you live in a city. So I have to stay at the side to avoid standing in these massive mud puddles. And the only things to hold on to are brambles. So annoying. Yeah, you see this puddle is so deep. My foot would just sink all the way down into it. So I have to stay to the sides. Okay, I think we finally got out of the bog. That took a lot longer than it should have done because we were trying not to end up to our knees in mud. Oh, but we got a nice view of the coast again now. So the reason why we have to leave this evening rather than tomorrow morning, which was our original plan, is because a storm is meant to hit the Isle of Wight tonight and it should disrupt all of the ferries tomorrow. There's meant to be 80-mile-an-hour winds, so it's unlikely that any of the ferries are going to be running tomorrow. So the reason why we're in such a rush today is we need to catch the ferry back to the mainland and then from Southampton back to London tonight. We've been walking for what feels like forever, and we've just reached the little town of Shalfleet, where we're going to stop to refill our water and maybe take a rest for about 10 minutes before carrying on. I think we've maybe got another hour and a half of daylight, but once we get back onto the coast, it's a pretty direct route all the way back to West Cowes. Okay, so we just left the pub and now we're back on the road again. I think we've got about 2.5 to 3 hours to go before we get back to West Cowes. My feet are aching a lot now. I think we're just about to lose the light now and we've got about another hour and a half to go. So I'll check back in when we get back to the B&B. So we just got back to the B&B. It is now about 7:15. The walk took a lot longer than we thought it would, and now my feet are hurting a lot. I think I'm just not used to doing walks for that long. Overall, that wasn't one of my favourite walks. There was a lot of walking on main roads, which isn't ideal. And when it got dark, it became a little bit sketchy. It was not great walking out and having cars coming towards you. It's now about an hour before our ferry, so we're going to pack our bags and get ready to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.